opened my law firm 10 years ago, everyone had advice. Some of it was helpful, some of it would have kept me broke, overwhelmed, and probably back in a 9 to 5. Today I'm sharing the worst advice that solo attorneys receive so that you don't waste years making those mistakes. I'm Darcel Lobo, a solo attorney who teaches you how to open and build a successful solo law firm. Let's get into today's video, and out of all the pieces of bad advice, please do not follow number 5 on this list. It is the worst thing you could do for your law firm. Number 1, waiting until you have more experience. Let me just tell you now and debunk this now. You're never going to feel ready, right? And while you want to ensure that you are providing competent representation, there are ways for you to develop that competency, whether you're fresh out of law school, if you're in your first few years of practice, if you're 10 years into practice, right? And this is having mentors, doing pro bono work, working in clinics, doing CLE trainings, joining different bar associations, right? There is a way for you to develop that competency, that skill in your practice area. Definitely having a strong network of people around you that you can go to is a great thing that you need to have when you're not just new to being an attorney, but going out on your own. Like, I'm 17 years into being an attorney, and I still have my people I can go to when I have questions or one-off cases where you want to run it by someone. So you always need to have that, no matter if you're at year 1 or like me at year 17. You're going to learn while you are serving clients responsibly, right? So you are going to do your due diligence, but that does not mean you have to wait to open your law firm until you have 5 years of experience, 10 years of experience. I have had law firm owners who are very successful, who went out on their own fresh out of law school. Now, you are going to have to do the work. I'm not telling you it's a piece of cake and that it's just a walk in the park and you don't have to do any of the hard work. You do, but you can do it. That is an option. Don't feel that you have to put your dreams of owning a law firm on hold or on pause because someone else thinks that you don't have enough experience. Don't listen to them. Bad advice. Now, if you're going out on your own and going to open your own law firm, you're going to want to start with a strong foundation. So make sure you grab my free law firm business plan for you. It's linked down below. It's free. So why haven't you already grabbed it? So make sure you get that, and let's keep going. Bad advice number 2. You need a fancy office to look professional. Now, hopefully all of you already know that that is not true, especially in a post-COVID world. Now, when I went out on my own, I did get a brick and mortar office, which actually I still have today, 10 years later, that same office. But that's because I needed somewhere out of my house to work. Okay, I have a home office, but I still need to get out of my house and go to a brick and mortar. So I need that for me just to be more productive and to get, more work done. When I'm home, there's always laundry, there's always dishes, my dog is here, like there's always a distraction, even though I have my office in a room with 4 walls, right? There's always something else to do to distract me. So I need a brick and mortar for that reason. But then also with my practice area, I meet clients in person with my estate planning practice. And so I don't have a practice that is conducive to just being 100% virtual, unless you were to do mobile signings or, rent space, temporarily for a few hours here or there to be able to meet clients to sign. But for a lot of my clients' practice areas, they can be fully remote and don't need a brick and mortar office. So that is not a reason that you need to wait to open your law firm because you think you have to get a brick and mortar. I teach you all the time, start lean. Keep your overhead as low as possible. So if you're able to open your law firm without a brick and mortar, great. By all means, do it. If you need a brick and mortar for a place to meet clients, or if you're like me and you just need to get out of the house to actually get work done and be productive, then do that also, but make sure you keep your overhead low and don't overspend where you don't need to. Bad piece of advice number 3 is keeping your prices low until you get more clients. I can tell you right now that having the lowest prices, being the cheapest attorney in town is not it, and it's going to get you the wrong clients and make your growth a whole lot harder. The clients you reduce your fees for or you agree to a reduction, those are going to be the most difficult clients you've ever had in your practice. Trust me, been there, done that. I have learned this the hard way. A lot of these lessons I have learned the hard way, and I'm here to teach you so you can avoid the hard way like me. And don't get me wrong, as a law firm owner, I get it. You want the client to hire you. You have overhead to pay. Even if you're a lean law firm, you still have overhead to pay, right? You want to pay yourself, right? You want to get a paycheck. I get it. And for some of you, this just might be a lesson that you have to learn the hard way yourself. Like, you're not going to listen to me or anyone else, because I get it. When you have someone willing to pay you money, even if it's at a lesser fee than you would normally take, you've got bills to pay, so you accept it and you go down that road with that client who's probably going to be difficult. So you may have to just learn that by doing it and learning from your own mistakes. That's okay too. That's part of being a law firm owner, that you're going to navigate this journey. And it's going to be a bit of a bumpy road sometimes. So I'm here to help you, here to guide you. Of course, I can't force you to do or not do anything, right? So take my advice, don't take my advice. But if you don't take my advice, remember in the future, when things go sideways and things hit the fan, that you learned it here first. Next up, the fourth item on this list is doing everything yourself to save money, to keep your overhead low. Now, this is a hard one for me because that's what I did. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, that's probably what I would do again. And it's not the best way to do it, but just being risk adverse, being more, I guess, conservative in my spending and what I was paying for. Like, I did everything myself when I went out on my own. Like, day one, and I would say about 3 to 4 months in, it was very clear that I could not keep up with my phones. And so then I got a virtual receptionist. And then as things got more busy, I hired my first part-time support person. So you want to add admin support as you can afford it, as you have revenue coming in to pay for it. I wouldn't open my law firm on day one and have support immediately, just because I didn't have the extra money to spend to do that. Right? So I really did everything myself. Now, I probably waited too long before making my first hire. Again, just being hesitant, still being unsure of myself, still being unsure of what my law firm, could or could not do, if it'd be successful or not. So all those doubts and fears were kind of holding me back, making me play smaller than I should have. So make sure that once you have the ability to do so, you get some help, because it is not the best use of your time for you to be doing all these admin tasks. Once you have clients coming in the door and you have revenue coming in, we want you doing more work that will bring more money in, not admin tasks. So as soon as you can hire someone, whether it's a virtual receptionist or remote support, someone to help with the phones, to help with the emails, to help with those admin tasks that you can't necessarily bill for, make sure you get that help when you can do so. Okay, next is number 5. This one is the one that I asked you to make sure you stuck around for, and that you please, out of all of these, don't listen to this advice. Number 5 is taking every case that comes through your door. This is the worst piece of advice. Do not listen to this, please. I am begging you. Do not try to do all the things just for the sake of making, that client fee. It is not worth it. So if there's one takeaway from this video, please let it be this one. Because as you start receiving calls and having consultations, your red flag alarm is going to go off. And your first inclination, when you're first starting out, is that you're going to want to try to ignore it. Do not ignore it. Do not ignore all those sirens blaring in your head telling you to not help this person, that they're not going to be a good fit for you. They're not going to be a good client for your firm. What is that, like 80-20 rule? Like 20% of your clients consume 80% of your time. Like, this is part of that equation. This is why. So when you have someone where there are the red flags going off and you know that this client's gonna be a problem for whatever the reason may be, you decline to assist, provide a referral if appropriate, and then keep space for the clients that are a good fit. If you take on that client that is a red flag, a problem client, that is going to consume so much of your time that you won't have the ability to take on clients who are a better fit for you and for your firm. This is a hard one. I know this because I've been there, done that. Do you know how many clients I took in my early days knowing that they would be a pain in my neck? And for sure, they absolutely were. And then I was in the case, I agreed to take it, and then I felt stuck. And it was hard to get out when I already took the case. Don't do that. Don't follow down that path. Don't make things harder for yourself. Okay, so listen to yourself, listen to your gut, listen to that little voice in your head, listen to those sirens, and run away from that client that you know is going to be a problem. Okay, item number 6 is thinking that you need to have everything figured out before you open your solo law firm. Not true. Don't listen to this. And especially if you are telling yourself this, you might be the one holding yourself back. And I say that because that was true for me. I was the one who waited for too long to open my law firm because I thought I didn't have it all figured out. I didn't know A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. But if you're waiting to have it all figured out and for everything to just be perfect, you're never going to open your law firm. Like, point blank, period. It will not get open if you are waiting for that perfection. It is not your job to have everything figured out, to know what's going to happen in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. That's not for you to know yet. My career has taken many dips and turns and pivots that I could have never foreseen. I've told you before, when I was in law school, I thought I was going to be a prosecutor. And I shared that reason as to why that didn't work out, right? And now look where I am now. I could have never imagined being where I am now when I was in law school 17 plus years ago. So you don't want to go into things blindly, right? We're not opening our law firms without some kind of plan in place. But you don't have to know everything. You don't have to have it all perfect. All you need to do is stay a few steps ahead of where you are now. Put one foot in front of the other. Do you know what you need to do next? That's the question. If you know what you need to do next, you just keep building on that little by little. And that's how you keep growing your law firm. And if you've been sticking around here with me, if you've been watching any of my videos, then I've probably already told you and have given you the information as to what you need to do if you want to open your law firm. You know what you need to do. We have talked about it many, many times as far as opening a law firm. So what are you waiting for? Like, why are you stopping yourself? And I say that because that was my journey. That was my experience. I was stopping me. I was holding myself back. And for a lot of my law firm owners that I talked to, they were in that same spot. Because for most of my lawyers, most of my law firm owners, the biggest obstacle holding them back isn't all of the bad advice that they've received. That's actually not what really holds them back. It's usually not anything external. It's all in here. You're the one stopping yourself. And I know this to be true because, again, I did this to myself. I waited almost 3 years to open my law firm. And it wasn't because I got bad advice. It was because I was in my own way. I didn't believe it. I didn't think I could figure it out. I had all these reasons why it wouldn't work. Instead of me just doing the work, showing up, and making it work and growing my law firm. I told myself so many lies that it was too hard to figure out and I didn't have what it takes and no one was going to hire me. I was talking real crazy to myself. And we can be so mean to our own self sometimes. And sometimes you gotta just tell that voice to just F off and we're gonna go and do it anyway. And here's the thing about going out on your own as a solo. You go harder for yourself and you're gonna do what you gotta do. You're gonna get it done. And you find a way to start actually trusting yourself to be able to figure it out. Because look at all that you have done to get where you are. All my lawyers that I work with, they have had amazing experiences and jobs and career paths, and they have developed such a skill set and such a value that they have to offer to their clients, but they forget, they overlook it, they don't always see it. So, of course, you can open a law firm. You have the ability, you have the skill, you're resourceful. The problem is not any of your skills or experiences or lack thereof. That's not your problem. Your problem is that you won't get out of your own way. And once you figure that out, there's no stopping you. There's no telling what you will do with your law firm. Now, if you're going solo, you're going to need some tech in your law firm. There's no getting around that. But I want you to do so smartly and to not overspend and to get tech that you can actually benefit from. So make sure you hop over here next to learn about the tech tools that you're going to need when you open your law firm. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.